Yeah. What's going on? Hey, it's your man, Mr. Sierra Hinton. I'm still here with my boy, Mr. TJ in the building. Seth Lowe. 180. Nah, that's none of your business, but
that's where I be.
Right, like I'm
157,
180. Like, yeah, we right there, next door. So yeah, we just shooting the breeze with my man CJ today. We got a couple of topics. Let's start with something simple, something light.
Something light?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Something light.
We gonna talk about Dr. Umar Johnson.
You start off with that one?
Yeah, we gonna start with him. Yeah.
Okay.
So, he's very keen on child psychology, especially, as it pertains to like the young black community, right?
Right.
And how they use the system, especially the school system, to
destroy our black kids.
Yeah, pretty much indoctrinate them. You know what I mean?
It's a blueprint. You got to understand the blueprint to destroying the black nation, not just the black family, the black nation.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to look at the blueprint, you got to look through history, and then after you look through history, look at the teachings of today. A kid is hyperactive. They say he got ADHD. What causes a kid to have ADHD? Now, we want to speak medical terms or common sense. Common sense.
Mm-hmm.
What gives a young Spanish Latino ADHD more than the white kids or the Asian kids or the Jewish kids? You want to know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
What they put in our food. If you look on certain cereals with coloring in it, red dye 40, yellow dye number 5, those are the chemicals to causing ADHD, but yet they pump it in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Once these kids develop a problem, they got this thing called special ed.
Mm-hmm.
Special ed is supposed to be determined for a kid who have learning disabilities. These kids don't have learning disabilities, they're just fucking hyper off the chemicals that's in the food that we eat.
The sugar.
No, the chemicals. Because they also put paint remover in our food.
Okay.
We in special ed now, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's the Board of Ed gonna make money?
So
answer the question. How's the Board of Ed?
Well, no, because this is exactly what I was going. That was going to be my next question.
The Board of Ed make money with the doctors.
Yeah, but and so that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna fast forward all the way through the process you're about to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we feel about the parents? Because we know, trust me, the viewers who've been listening, they know exactly where you're going with this. What do we say about the parents who get in bed with those doctors, who allow them to give their child a diagnosis, feed them with pills, give them an IEP, or, you understand, just so they can get a check?
Stop being money hungry. Money is not going to cure poverty. Money is going to bring greed and hatred. Because while you fiending over the money, you putting your kid up on a pedestal as a prize reward of saying, I'm selling you his or her innocence, but I need a couple of dollars to survive.
But I'm saying that's one thing to say, but I want to know, how do we actually put that in action? Like,
it's very easy. It is very easy. Read. They give you paperwork to read before you even go to these doctors.
Yeah, but they're not concerned about that. I'm talking about the parents who.
This is what I'm about to tell you. This is what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
They got to read them paperwork because them papers don't lie to you. It tells you why this kid is getting this particular type of treatment. It tells you what you're consenting to. The fine print that people don't read.
Yeah, but what we're saying is some of the parents don't care.
You exactly, because they care for the money. For the ones that don't care, stop being greedy.
Like, because they're not even looking at the paperwork or nothing. All they know is, once I sign this paper, I'm going to get a check.
Right.
And that's their motivation.
Okay, but then what?
Well, again, we know what happens. The child is doomed at this point.
No, the child ain't doomed.
Well, the child is doomed
because... The system is doomed. You want to know why? Because now the child is running amok because of the parents selling the innocence for money and doping this kid up on all kind of drugs. Now he or she is out in the street really doing harder drugs. And now society got to pay the cost of somebody breaking in their house, somebody shooting somebody, somebody robbing somebody, all because at a young age You sold your kids innocent for money.
Right, but this is what I'm saying why the child is doomed, because at this point what happens is you got your child, you landed your child in IEP, and that IEP is going to last for the entire duration
What is
of
an IEP?
that child's an individual educational plan.
But what is it?
It's like special ed. From in our day, we just called it special ed.
No, I know what it is, but I'm saying, what is it? Now, according to what the Board of Ed said, that is a regular diploma.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
But-
This is
but
so
listen.
when I said that you set your child up for failure,
Yeah.
or you understand, because
but-
now your child has to go through school with the IEP.
No,
it's
there is
not
no-
a regular diploma.
There is no IEP. Think about it. If I got you doped up on pills, how you gonna receive IEP? If I got you, no, think about it. You're in special ed. I used to be in special ed, my man. So I'm gonna tell you about special ed. You got some of the smartest people in special ed.
I'm pretty sure.
You got some smart people, some smart kids that's in special ed are so fucking smart that they get bored
I'm
with
sure.
the normal work. Do you know what it is to hear a teacher tell you every day in school, let somebody else do the answering. Okay, I'll call on you later. Oh, this and you looking like, but I'm not liking this. Like,
I know you just trying to get this shit done so we can.
You get as a kid, you get tired of being overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
I know the work. Why the teacher won't call on you? So you ditch the class. This is what I did. I ditched the class.
Okay.
But yet, when I'm walking through the halls, because it was one particular floor for all special ed students, I'm walking through the halls, I see kids doped up, or for Ritalin shots, or for pills. And they so doped up, even when they graduated, they didn't know they was graduating. It's like you just pushing them along. There is no reinforcement for their education.
Right.
That's a dollar sign. Because as long as the people say special ed for the kids, for the blacks, of course, and the Spanish, the doctors get a percentage, the Board of Ed get a percentage. Everybody's getting money, including the parent,
Right.
but that kid.
Exactly.
So that kid is left to what? Society to deal with, right? All because the parent did what?
Sold their child off for a check.
But it's okay because we're black. It's
No,
okay.
it's not okay.
No,
That's
no,
the
no, no,
point.
no, no,
Like-
no. According to the people, according to the certain parents, it's okay. I'm getting after that bag, but at what cost?
Right. Because they don't think like because I know we had this conversation earlier today, not on the podcast at all, but it was like, some people don't think about the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, it's like.
How old is a grandmama now, man? 20, 25. Mothers are 15, 12, 11. There's no great grandmamas. There ain't no grandmothers. There's no grandfathers. You got grandfathers / uncles / cousins teaching / kids on how to hustle instead of using their brain for something that'll bring success, bring residual income, bring happiness. You're bringing pain, drama, and death.
It's no real old school. That's why I want to give a big ups to ourselves here. Like, give us a round of applause because this the purpose is why. Like I said, we could have had this conversation over the phone, but my whole point was, this is part of old school. Coming face to face, being in the same room together, dealing with what you understand, not talking to each other over a screen, or you know what I mean. Like we got to get back to this. This is how we going, change this world that's around us. Alright. So you want to say anything else about Dr. Umar Johnson before we slide to the next topic?
Listen, Dr. Umar Johnson is pro-black nation.
Mm-hmm.
He's for the youngsters. He's for the middle age. He's for the elders. That's of black descendant, black people. He's for the blacks. I remember there was an interview Dr. Umar Johnson did that was discussing Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady, who's also black, was so biased against everything he was saying. What she did was throw the LGBT into it.
So she just didn't like him, or
No, she didn't like what he was saying about Black Lives Matter.
Oh, okay.
So she threw the LGBT into it. And so she said, gay lives matter too. It does. Don't get me wrong. All lives matter.
Right.
But who's the most nations that was getting killed throughout history? Who's the most beloved leaders of the black nation that's been slain in front of us on TV?
Big facts.
You understand? It's not saying because gay people has been getting killed. Dr. Umar Johnson said, gay or not, if they're black, it matters. It shouldn't be no label.
Right.
What she took it as was saying, well, we got to separate. This says black lives, this says gay lives. Let me explain something. What makes gay lives more important than black lives? What makes not gay lives more important than gay lives? You understand?
Right.
If you fighting for the same struggle, you fighting for the same thing to make a difference. If you're black lives do matter.
Big facts.
And I agree with Dr. Umar on that, because if you see in black and white, then you're not seeing the full picture.
That is interesting. Cool. So self-sufficiency, which is another big thing that Dr. Umar Johnson talks about, like, you know, and that's our next topic. Like, how do we as a people get to the point where we don't have to rely on
The system?
or the man? I mean,
Rely on your brother.
Well, you know, when we say the man,
Listen, when I say rely on your brother, I mean rely.
oh, that's the solution.
That means
Okay,
rely
got it.
on your brother.
Right. I am my brother's keeper.
If
type
you
of
rely on the man, you're relying on the system, welfare. You're
Right.
relying on food stamps. They're dictating what they're giving you.
Mm-hmm.
They're dictating how you should live. They're dictating what you eat. They're dictating what your kids eat. When are you, as people, kings and queens, princesses, husbands, wives, engagees, engagers, when are y'all going to say, we can do this ourselves?
I mean,
We could police our own neighborhood.
I've been trying to say that for a long time.
At the end of the day, the choice is on us. If we make the choice to sit back and turn a blind eye, then don't be mad when something bad happens. Don't go screaming, Jesus, God, why me? What you need to say is, why didn't I do enough to prevent this when I had a chance?
Well, how do we make some of these self-sufficient ideals a reality? Like,
Very easy.
Like, what are some things we can do in our local neighborhood, like on a very local level, like straight from the home?
Snatch up the youngsters. They're the key. They're the future. Think about it. When
Yeah,
you walk-
but snatch them up and then what? Like,
you deteriorate them from the streets. How you do that? You get their interest in something different.
okay.
Something they heard about but never thought that they'd be doing. Something that they seen, but because of their friends was like, nah, son, fuck out of here, yo, we gotta make this bag. Something that'll make them say, let me see what's over there before I go back to my people.
So more like to the arts and the crafts as opposed
but
to
only to their feelings. Like I told you, I do shirts, right?
Mhm.
You know how many people, youngsters, of course, I walked up on, I was like, yo, what's your talent? They don't know me from a hole in the wall. I'm like, what's your talent? Nigga looked at me and like, well, I like sketching. Word. Went in the store, got a piece of paper and a pencil. I said, yo, sketch me something. I was dead ass. I said, sketch me something. He was like, yo, OG, chill. Little nigga, sketch me something.
I mean, if
And
that's
what did
you
he do? The nigga sat down. Beautiful. The nigga artwork was beautiful. It was one of them shits that looked like a 3D painting, my dude.
Okay.
I looked at him. I said, yo, how old are you? He said, 17. And you out here when you got talent, like, give me your phone number and your name.
It'd be like
Because
that, though,
if
like,
he could do 3D,
just like
Yeah.
that on the spot, like
3D sketches. You ever seen Chinese people? They be doing 3D and make it look like a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
And he did a 3D sketch that blew my mind. Now, if you could do that, I got a place for you at my job, man.
hey, that's
So,
what-
by me telling him that, he was like, yo, G, I'm with it. Yo, G, I'm with it. Yo, just come get me. Just let me know. Scoop
right,
me up.
and it's doing something that he already knows how to do. You understand? Like, it's not like you have to train him to do something.
Exactly, but the better thing is, if he can sketch, I know he knows somebody else that can sketch.
Most likely, yeah.
So what is that? That's a train. I got the first cart. This first cart is already hooked up to a second cart. I don't see that second cart until it pulls on by.
Right.
And if he's sketching, and he see that he's doing something that's involving his passion, he's gonna want to pull him along.
Yeah.
This one knows somebody that do technical computer work. Okay, cool. So you're an engineer then. Come aboard. Now, less of the people's being on the street and more of the youngsters is doing more positive things without the criticism, without people looking down on them, and without everybody saying, yo, what's up with the gang gang? The gang gang making a bag.
Right.
Without going to jail.
Copy. Cool. All right. So as it pertains to self-sufficiency too, though, because I definitely want to make sure that I touch on this aspect of it. Being self-sufficient, we want to talk about, like, so the definition is needing no outside help and satisfying one's basic needs